Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to need our handout, which is a fraction bar. And the one thing to notice, again, if you haven't already, cut it out and glue it onto the sheet. And I need to put, there we go, lesson C, glue it on. And this is what's called, let me slide it down here because these are called fraction bars. Because, well, they're fractions and they're bars. And unfortunately, it's not the clearest view, but if you look, this is one whole, and then these are halves, and notice there are two halves make up one whole. Then these are thirds, 3/3 make up a whole, fourths, there's 4 of them, fifths, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 7, 8, there's 8, 9, there's 9, 10, there's 10, 11, there's 11, 12, there's 12. If you don't trust me, you can count them, but I promise you there are 10, and there are 9, and there are 8, and there are 7, and there are 6. Trust me, I really do know what I'm doing. Now, one great thing about fraction bars is that we can use them to compare fractions. Because sometimes, boys and girls, fractions, because the numbers are different, it's difficult to compare in terms of the relative size when we think of a whole. And the great thing about fraction bars is the whole is always the same. It's all 1. So if I look at a fraction like 1/4, I can see that 1/4 is right here. And if I want, I can compare 1/4 to 1/5. And I can ask myself, which one of those is greater? And I can look and I can see, well, 1/4 is right here, and it goes to this rate. Whereas 1/5 is right here, and that's, so 1/4 is going to be greater than 1/5. And we use a fraction bar for that. I can look at something like 9/10 or 8/9. Now, for this one, I'm going to color this in just because I can. I don't want you to worry about coloring in because then you can only use the fraction bar basically once. But I want you to look at this and say, all right, 9/8, 9/10. So I'm going to go tenths, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to color this in right here. And then I'm going to go 8/9. And let's color this in blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, boys and girls, if you look at which one of these is greater, which one of these goes past, well, the red one is just a slight bit further than the blue one. So if I look at it, 9/10 is greater than 8/9. Now hopefully I can erase this. Otherwise my fraction bar would be ruined completely. I'd have to download another one. Okay. Now, sometimes, boys and girls, if I have a number like 9/10, 9/10, oops, I have the eraser here, I need the pen. 9/10 or 10/10, that's one we should probably figure out on our own. Because if I take 9/10, which would be 9/10 would be right here, and then 10/10 would go all the way to the end, well, I should be able to figure that out on my own without having to think too much. Because the secret is, boys and girls, if the denominators are the same, which they are in this case, all you have to do is compare the numerators. 10 is greater than 9. Another example, if we give you 2/9 and 3/9, well, they have the same bottom number, 9 and 9, same denominator. So all we have to do is look at their numerators. Is 2 or 3 have a greater value? Well, hopefully, and I would venture to guess all of you have figured out that 3 has a greater value. You'd rather have 3 pieces of 9 than 2 pieces of 9. That's it for video number 3. Video 4, I'm just going to, well, why don't I just stop and I'll start it and then we'll be ready.